everyone, welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. We're doing Pinot Noir today. I think it's one of those wines, if you want to ever evoke wine snobbery, there's two wines that really come to my mind. Riesling and Pinot Noir. A lot of people just swear the best Pinot Noir in the world is from Burgundy. I wouldn't have believed that until I had the chance, because of my friend who I refer to as Dionysus, shared a little bit of the La Tâche by Domaine Romney-Conti. Very expensive Pinot Noir, but I really did get the idea of what type of Pinot Noir can come out of that area of the world. And I have tasted some other far less expensive than that are very good, but I do not necessarily buy into the fact that the best Pinot Noir in the world come from that area. I have had one of the best Pinot Noirs I've ever had from there, but I've also had some very good Pinots from Oregon. I've had some good Pinot from California, and I've also had some good Pinot Noir from New Zealand. But that being said, I guess my point of that whole soapbox thing was that a lot of people are they are convinced that the only place that can grow Pinot Noir is Burgundy. I am a big Burgundy fan. I like it. It really shows how Pinot Noir picks up the terroir of the area that it's grown in. In other words, it really shows that area. And when you're in Côte d'Or and you're in Nuit Saint George or those other areas of Burgundy, you really see the differences. And it's the soil, it's the climate, all those things come through in a Pinot Noir. Very fickle grape. A lot of winemakers try to emulate what comes out of Burgundy. It's really hard to do because the dirt isn't the same, the climate isn't the same, the winemaking methods aren't necessarily the same, but many have tried to reach the levels of those from Burgundy. And one of the things I like about Burgundy Pinot Noir is the Asian spice that you get so often in those wines. One of the things that can turn people off, if you get some of the cheaper Burgundies from that area, they tend to be high in acid, and a lot of people don't like that. We're going to try two not from Burgundy. I'm not going that direction today, although I would love to do I really should do a Burgundy, a red Burgundy tasting or Pinots from that area of the world, and I will. I promise you I will do that. For now, we're going to New Zealand and California. The first one we're going to do is Trinity Hill 2015 Pinot Noir from Hawke's Bay, New Zealand. Now, the really hot area, hot meaning popular, a lot of Psalms are getting excited about it, is Central Otago down in the Southern Island, way down south. And a lot of people are getting excited about the Pinots that are coming out from that area. I've tasted a couple from there. Some have been really high acid. I can see where they kind of feel like maybe it's close to Burgundy. I wasn't excited about them. You know, I don't want to sit there and get the enamel torn off my teeth. I don't know about you, but I don't want to go there. Definitely food wines, though. You have to have food. You can't just sit there, sip it, and enjoy it. But Hawke's Bay is up in the North Island on the East Coast, a little bit warmer up there, and so you probably will not get as much acid on that wine as you would from Central Otago. This rolls in at $17. Like I said, many people strive to imitate or emulate Burgundy. There's your label, Trinity Hill. Make sure you get that right. All right. Let's give it a whirl. Let's rinse the glass out first. How do you feel about Pinot? Do you like it? Is that one of your go-to wines? We all talk about how Sideways made it so popular. The movie Sideways really took a bite out of Merlot sales. But it's still a hot item. My Pinot Noir section is getting hit hard this summer. A lot of people still love it, and I was really happy about that movie, even though that wasn't the intention of the movie. But boy, did it get people trying Pinot Noir, and that's good. That's cool. It's cool because Pinot is such a great food wine, and it goes great with salmon this time of year, especially up here in the San Juan Islands. Lots of salmon, and it's a great salmon wine. Let's see what we get on the nose. Get a lot of strawberry on this one. Kind of strawberry blended with cherries, and I'm excited about this, getting some Asian spice notes coming through on the nose. A little bit of a burn. Now, I could be imagining things, but I wonder what the alcohol content is. I know you guys probably get, Stan, don't try to fight the alcohol. But I'm going to anyway. 13%. There you go. This has an average score on Wine Searcher of 88 points from critics, if that's something you're concerned about. Let's see what we get on the palate. A lot of you are going to like this Pinot Noir. It's a good weight in the mouth, but yet still has that kind of elegance to it that comes with Pinot Noir. It doesn't get overpowering on the palate, but this has good fruit. I get cherries and strawberries blended together, with the cherry being the dominant part of it. Good acidity. I feel the acid underneath, but not high in acid. I don't get a high acidic content on this wine. A touch thin on the finish, I would say, but overall, front to mid palate until you get to the finish, good solid cherry notes. I think cherry is a dominant part. I don't get any Asian spice on this. I find it a little bit simplistic on the palate, for lack of a better term, but it is delicious. Definitely hits the delicious category big time. And right on the back end, I get a little bit of a blackberry component with a little bit of licorice. Not to be overlooked is there's a little bit of a cola element coming through. Not very unusual for Pinot Noir to have a cola or a root beer element coming through on it. This has a little bit of cola coming through, not a lot, but you get the essence of that coming through. I've been using that word lately, essence, because it's not a very, you kind of feel it, but it's not a prominent part of the flavor profile. It does have a definite cola thing going on. I just think from the delicious factor, a lot of you are going to like this wine. From a technical point of view, or as a wine critic, I guess, point of view, if you want to put it that way, it's a little bit simplistic on the palate. There's not a lot of things going on, but it has a nice flow, good acid, thin on the finish. That's all I'm going to say about that. That's all I'm going to say about that. Where's my modulation? Right on the back of the mid palate, I get a little bark component coming through. I mean, the finish isn't like thin, it doesn't disappear. It just thins out a little bit. I'm going to go straight up B with this wine. I think a lot of you are going to like it. I think it's well-made Pinot Noir. I think it shows a lot of the characteristics. It's beautiful with salmon. You don't have to think about it a lot when you're drinking it, which some of you might appreciate. You know, just want to enjoy it. You don't want to think about it a lot. This is a good bottle. It's reasonably priced at 17 bucks. I think B is a good score for that wine. Yeah, I'm going to just go straight up B. I think, you know, it's above average. Certainly not disappointing. Great price point. Let's move on. Sometimes I think I'm a little too generous on the scores. I don't know. Maybe not. 2014 Cultivate Pinot Noir. And this has become quite popular with Pinots. It tells you the areas where they source the grapes from. They don't source it all from the same area. This is Santa Barbara, County, Monterey County, and Sonoma County. All great places for Pinot Noir in California. This rolls in at $28. Okay. 14.7 alcohol, which you'd expect from sunny California. Interesting label. Now you see, I'd call this an ugly label, but well, I tell you, Boundary Bay did an IPA, going to beer for a moment, IPA with what I consider one of the ugliest cans I've ever seen. But I heard a lot of people say they like it. So, you know, I don't want to be old-fashioned. Heaven forbid. So, interesting label, let's just say that. A lot of people don't like Pinot from California. You know, I think it's too fruity, too fruit forward. I think it has a place in every wine market. I think you have to, you know, cross over if you want to get people to try Pinot Noir. Sometimes you start out with California, work them into Oregon, and then go to Burgundy. So, you know, it's just an evolution of the palate. And I think I liken drinking wine. This big old bug going across the window there. Outside, of course. I liken it to coffee. When I first started drinking coffee, I went to the lumber yard with my dad, hung out. I'd put sugar cubes, tons of sugar cubes, a lot of creamer in there, and drink it. I love coffee black now. You see, my palate for coffee has evolved. And I think everybody should give their chance for their palate to evolve. Don't be afraid to try new things. I do wine tastings once a month where I invite a lot of people. And it's really cool because they get to try wines. It's not expensive. They get to try those wines. And, you know, some people say, oh, I don't want to try that wine. Why not? Just try it. It's not going to kill you. You know, so if you get an opportunity to go to a wine tasting type thing where you can try different wines, go do it. And don't turn down a wine because you don't feel like, well, it's a white wine. I don't want any white wine. Try it. At least give it a try. So let's see what we get on the nose with this Cultivate Pinot Noir from Santa Barbara, Monterey, and actually there's the percentages here. 49% Santa Barbara County fruit, 47% Monterey County fruit, and 4% Sonoma County fruit. There you go. That's becoming real popular to do that. I think it's interesting. Really detailed. Sometimes you can't get them to even put the varietals on there, and they do that. I think it's kind of cool. I love information on the label. Not too much, but that's not too much to me. $28. Let's see what we get on the nose. Kind of challenged. I think I got rid of the sound problem on my videos. I shut off the furnace. I shut off any Bluetooth thing going on in the house. I don't know. You see, I got this camera from a pawn shop. It's been great for me. Got it at a really good price. And I don't know if it has Bluetooth capacity. I can't find an owner's manual, even online. So I'm getting kind of a slight, there's definitely cherries and strawberries in this one as well as the last one. There's like I'm trying to get at this. There's a smell in there that's very, very familiar to me. I wish I had somebody else here to smell it. That's one thing I like about having groups together. You'll talk. I just did a wine tasting event where they auctioned me off for a private wine tasting, and it was interesting to be around those people and listen to what they got out of the wine, because sometimes they'll hit it right on, that's the smell. I just couldn't nail it. I think it's just the strawberries and cherries kind of combine together and make this interesting aroma. Kind of an earthiness to this too. I get a little bit of earth factor going on, a little bit of bark. Get just a hint of root beer. Let's see what we get on the palate. What a nice surprise. From California, very, very feminine on the palate, but good flavors. I get a lot of cherry with a little underlying strawberry, like a strawberry pie element. 14.7 alcohol, but it doesn't show that much. I get a little bit of a spicy, like a white pepper component coming through. The root beer comes through right on the backside. Sarsaparilla, whatever you want to say. I say root beer, sarsaparilla. Of course, you talk to people, I say it's quite a bit different than root beer. You get the picture. I don't get any heat on the palate, which is interesting. It's very feminine. To me, it's like you have to kind of search through what you're tasting. You can just let this go down easily, and not have anything to think about. It is very smooth, interesting wine, but I think there's some things and there's some intricacies in there that if you give it some thought, you'll see them. Red flowers, cherries, a little strawberry, a little bit of white pepper, a little bit of kind of bark and tobacco elements coming through. I like the Trinity Hill, it's very delicious. This is a little more subtle, and which is not bad with Pinot Noir. This would be a beauty. You could, you know what, I would dare say ham, salmon, you could have this with salads. The acid is very well integrated into the fruit. I could see this, you wouldn't want something, you couldn't have anything too big and powerful with this wine because it is so subtle. So whatever you have with it has to be more subtle, and then you'll really get the elements of this wine coming through. I would definitely say salad. I would have this, and it's kind of weird. I know this sounds weird. I'd love to have this with clams. I think it's subtle enough that it would complement that shellfish. If you're going to have red wine with shellfish, this would be the one. I know that sounds weird. I'm feeling weird today. I think it would work. And lying underneath all that, you get that kind of that root beer, sarsaparilla, tobacco bark thing going on. White pepper just kind of hangs on the backside. I don't think everybody's going to totally get this wine, but it's 28 bucks, not cheap. But I think if you're into more subtle, feminine, subtle. If you're into more feminine style, elegant Pinot Noir, this would be the one. I'm having a hard time. How am I going to grade this wine? I like it. I do. Interesting. And right on the backside, that kind of tobacco bark thing just kind of hangs on. I'm going to go straight up B+. It's a little bit, I think people are going to have a hard time understanding it. It's definitely a very good Pinot Noir. I don't think it's in the A category. I think there's some things about it that might be lacking to get up into the A category, but I like it. I think it's one of those kind of Pinots that you might say, wow, what am I getting out of this? It's a thinking drinker's Pinot Noir. There you go, whatever that means. Let's see, how many of you actually, and if you want to comment, you can. I'm struggling getting comments from people. But do you like to think about what you're drinking? Or do you just like it to pop it, pour it, enjoy it, and that's the end of it? Where are you at on that? I like it either way. But I like to think about what I'm drinking. Of course, that's my job, right? That's what I do. But how do you feel about it? Now, interesting, the finish on this one is lingering for quite a bit. I like it. Maybe hedging towards A-, B+ for sure. There you go. Two different Pinots from two different parts of the world. Both of them good for different reasons. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.